Hello everyone, I'm Humberto and I'm lead engineer here at Nerit'e. I'm here to show you our first demo of our first prototype. Exciting, right? Okay, so this is our first prototype. I know, it's not pretty, but it works. Don't believe me? I'll show you. So right now we are using an Arduino and just a simple breadboard. The magic happens in here. So usually how it would work is in a field, a farmer would extract a small sample of their soil and place it under our device here. This device will do the analysis that we need in order to obtain the nutrients present in the soil. However, as you can see, we're not in the field. So what we're going to use is fertilizers. We have three types of fertilizers here, labeled 1, 2, and 3. Fertilizer number 1 is a grass fertilizer. This type of fertilizer is usually has a high concentration of nitrogen and is not used for everyday crops. The other two types of fertilizer are used in crops. However, they have slightly different concentrations of nitrogen and phosphorus. This first fertilizer here has a 12% concentration of nitrogen and a 60% concentration of phosphorus. Fertilizer number 3, however, has 9% concentration of nitrogen and 45% concentration of phosphorus. This means we should get fairly similar results from fertilizers number 2 and number 3. However, they should not be the same, and we should be able to tell the difference between one and the other. Nevertheless, for fertilizer number 1, we should get completely different results. Okay, let's try it. So, starting off with fertilizer number 3. How do we do this? We simply place our device on our sample here, make sure no light will escape it. We need to come up with a way to actually place that sample and make it intuitive and easy to do. And we connect our Android app to our device. We have created this simple app, which is also not pretty, but it serves as a proof of concept. What it will do is it will print out the results read from our sensor. Okay, so let's try it out. All we need to do is just plug it in and wait 30 seconds. Accept, and 30 seconds on the clock. 30 seconds have passed. Here are the results. Now, as you can see, these don't really tell us much about the actual nutrients present in the soil. All these are telling us are the actual readings from the sensor. So, this way, you can understand how important it is for us to build this database where we have a bunch of spectral data that can help us optimize a machine learning algorithm to predict the nutrients present in the soil. And after that, give farmers recommendation on which kind of fertilizers they should be using to optimize the growth of their crops while minimizing their negative effects on the environment. Now, on to fertilizer number 2. Again, placing our device on our sample and plug our device to our phones. Accept, and 30 seconds on the clock again. Okay, 30 seconds have passed. Here are the results we got. Now, they're not quite the same, are they? They're similar. That means the nutrient concentrations for these two types of fertilizer are quite close together. Doesn't mean they're the same. Now, onto our third type of fertilizer. Now, as you can see, these two types are sufficiently close enough to infer that they can have similar nutrients. This would mean that if fertilizer number 1 has distinctly different nutrients, then we should have a dramatically different response. Okay, so let's see if that holds up. That's 30 seconds, and here are the results. Now, as we can see, they're all different between each other. That's because, especially this type of fertilizer, fertilizer number 1, is fundamentally different from our other two types of fertilizer. Now, obviously, as I mentioned at the start, our sensor is not giving us right now the exact data on the nutrients. Why is that? Because that's not directly measurable with on-site sensors. So what we need to do is build this spectral library so that we can train the machine learning model that will actually predict which nutrients are present in the soil and therefore give a recommendation to farmers based on what type of fertilizer they should be using. That's the next step on our product building here.